Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. Today we are going to take a look at this M2 Hercules Starlifter. So this M2 Hercules Starlifter is a military transport that developed by Crusader Industries, but before I talk more about it, let's get to it first. Underneath the bridge you can see there's a remote turret that houses two size 4 laser cannons. And over here you can see there's a ramp, which if you press it, it will open up like this. So this ramp usually is for you to, it's for your vehicles to enter the ship instead of yourself, but sometimes people got lazy and stuff, then they will use the front ramp or the rear ramp to access the ship. But if I were you, I won't do that, because sometimes there's some bugs about the ramp. If you access to the ship via the ramp or exit the ship via the ramp, you may cause some explosions. I don't know, but nowadays it's gone, I believe, but I don't know in the future whether they will come back or not. So you got the elevator over here, which is the main, usually is the way for me or the other people to access to the ship instead of the front ramp or rear ramp. Sorry about the place, because I don't have enough space to move around. Well, here you can access to the rear ramp, of course. So it will be opened up just like the front ramp, but yeah. So it's also for the vehicles to enter the ship or exit the ship. Underneath you can see there's a remote turret and also house two size 4 laser cannons. So basically it would be so similar to this side would be similar to the left hand side of the ship. So let's get inside of the ship. Well, comparing to 314, the pillar will be gone, so it turns out this elevator looks like it's floating, and sometimes it will disappear and reappear again, so just be patient, would be fine. And let's enter the cargo bay first by pressing the lower deck. So over here, this is the cargo bay. And you can load up vehicles over here, and you can put some cargo in here as well. To be honest, this size would be so similar to the C2 Hercules, but the cargo capacity would be a little bit less than the C2 Hercules. You can only house 522 SC of cargo in here instead of 696 SC of cargo. Of course, you can enter the main deck via this ladder, but I will not use it because sometimes it will clip your character and it causes some very interesting things. So I will enter the main deck via this elevator instead of the ladder over here. Why is opened? Anyway, so yes, you have some components over here that can be accessed in here. And also some storage stuff in here as well. Sorry, I think I pressed the wrong button. So, yep. So you have some storage units in here as well. In 314 is something very fancy, but now you can press an I and like enter the ship's inventory. Anyway, so you don't need to press these buttons. Now over here you can see those auxiliary crew cabin in here for you to house like 12 extra personnel in here for you to to load up your ship or offload your ship, or even you can house a group of troopers in here to perform some ground assault when your ship is landed. You got you got a toilet over here, but the toilet button is kind of weird. Over here, there's an armory, can house a lot of suits or armor, and also a lot of guns as well. So these racks are functional, so I saw some people put guns on it as well to sell around Stanton for, I believe it's 316, but nowadays they are gone for some reasons. Maybe they are tired about the game or stuff, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I saw them to put some guns over here, which is quite cool, and sell it for, I believe it's 60,000 AUEC, and they can, I mean, you can grab anything you like. Yeah, those subscribers, guns and stuff, very interesting, by the way. I grab a kind of this, I think it's like orange multi-tool, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, which was a fun memory, I would say. Back here, you can access to some ship's component, which means you can do some maintenance and also swap out those components when it's physicalized. But you can do all of them inside of the ship, which is quite cool. And you got an engine over here. Yeah, just have a party over here would be fine, I think. This right hand side of the ship would be the same as the left hand side, so yeah. Over here is a habitation room in here. You got a kitchen that's got a teddy bear inside of it, underneath it, which is quite cool. You got kitchens in here in dining area. Oh, teddy bear again. So you got some kind of beds in here for you to log in or log out, but usually I won't do that because it's not necessary at all for me. You can do it, but the ship may appear in a different location and stuff, or maybe you're clipped outside the ship, or yeah, so usually I won't do that. You got some closets over here that can be opened like this, which is quite cool. Maybe you can put some of your clothes and even armor inside, I don't know. Oh, by the way, you got a toilet over here as well, but now this toilet is gone. That's quite creepy. And you got some closets over here as well. And also you have some storage units over here. And you got some storage units over here as well. As same as what you were doing when you're pressing I, so there's not necessary for you to do some extra work. So let's go to the bridge. And here you can still see a lot of components inside of it, which is easier for you to do maintenance and stuff. And this one is the same, so I'm not going to press it. You got some escape pods over here. I believe they are escape pods, which is quite cool, but nowadays they are not useful, so you don't need to consider about using them. And now there's a bridge. Over here you got a gunner seat. And via this seat you can enter to the remote turret, which would be, looks like, wait a minute, I believe that I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, there you go. So this turret is the one who's underneath the bridge itself. You can like defend your ship, like to defend your ship, to deal with any kind of enemies that is located a little bit underneath your ship and also at the front of your ship. Yeah, you can kind of work with your pilot friend to deal with some threats. And also it seems like you can deal with some power output and stuff, which help your pilot friend as well. Oh, by the way, you got some very interesting thing in here, which is not useful at all, but anyway, you can press it. So yeah, if you really like to press things, you can press it. And the button is bugged as well. That's great. And here you got a shelf over here, and you can put some apples and stuff inside maybe. Over here you got a co-pilot seat. which for now you can't really do anything with it. You can't really help your pilot friend, so it's kind of useless comparing to your gunners over there, because you can't really do anything in here except to enter the remote turrets to defend your ship. So this is the turret underneath the ship. You can defend all the bottom part of the ship as well as the back of the ship, maybe. And also you can access to another remote turret, which is located at the top, I would say, top rear of the ship. But the angle is a kind of limited, so just be aware of it. Lastly, this is a pilot seat, which usually most of players will use it. So, as a lot of newer ships, well, this is not the newest ship, but you still have a lot of buttons to press because this belongs to a part of newer ship, I would say. But usually you will use some key bindings and stuff, and most of these buttons are not very useful, so well, you don't need to use it. Yeah, and you got a lot of panels as well. Anyway, so this is not a combat ship, so the view itself is okay for me. But if you talk about landing and stuff, I will press F4 and use a third-person view instead of first-person view right now, because, well, as you can see, you can't really see down there. So, well, especially this ship got a feature by if you're landing, you have some sort of bowing action going on because of those position of the landing gear. So, well, yeah, I will use a third-person mode instead of first-person mode like this. You can have, like, you can see there's 2 size 4 laser cannons that controlled by the pilot. Those are gimbal weapons, but you can change it into fixed size 5 weaponries and stuff. You do not have missiles, so, well, you don't need to worry about, like, aiming your missiles anyway. Alright, so let's talk about the ship itself. Well, I would say currently this ship is not that useful, especially you got a sister ship called C2 Hercules that is cheaper and also, I mean, of course cheaper, and also you got a bigger cargo capacity. So, well, usually people will got a C2 instead of M2 Hercules. But in the future, after the armor becomes something that they finished developing, then this ship probably will be better if you're operating any kind of operations in the hostile territories, because this ship's supposed to have a lot of armor. That is exactly why you got less cargo capacity at the first place. But right now, the whole HP would be similar to the C2 Hercules Starlifter. So if I were you, I would choose a C2 Hercules anyway instead of M2. Even though this ship come up with military grade components, but if you are not that picky and only change that quantum drive of the C2 Hercules, then even for the C2 Hercules, like cost 4.9 at the beginning, and you swap out that quantum drive with a military grade quantum drive, then it only costs you around 5 million only. But this thing will cost you, this M2 Hercules Starlifter will cost you 5.2 million at the beginning. So, well, if I were you, I would choose a C2 instead of M2, unless armor become something that is important in the game. And, well, this ship is supposed for you to transport vehicles instead of cargo. So, well, I would say that even in the future, after CIG finishing developing the game, I don't think this ship is suitable for running cargo only, because compared to the other, like, cargo ships, this ship, the hull itself cannot be changed and, like, something so-called rapidly deploying, like, the boxes inside of a ship, like offload your ship. So it turns out you may have a hard time to, like, load and offload your stuff which is kind of annoying. So unless you are transporting vehicles, if not, I don't really think that people should use this ship for any kind of purposes. And of course, you can use this ship as a mini carrier by putting a lot of snuff fighters inside of it. You can do that anyway, but usually I don't think people will use this ship for carrier purposes. Yeah, so well, as I said, if you really need to transport vehicles in the future in a very dangerous zone, this ship would be one of your choices, but not the most important, I mean, not the only choice that you have. Alright, so just in case that you really like the ship, just simply because it's a military transport and or other reasons, you don't want to grind your way all the way up to 5.2 million to get this ship, okay, fine. So this ship, if it's a Warborn price, when it's available, would be 480, but if it's a standalone ship, when it's available, it will be costing you 520 US dollars. So it's kind of expensive, but well, if you really like it, or if you really want to support a game development, yeah, you can do it. Yeah. Alright, so that's it for today's video about the M2 Hercules Starlifter. I hope you enjoy, and if I say anything wrongly or I forgot to mention about something, feel free to leave a comment down below. So I shall see you guys next time then. Bye bye.